Many older adults spend years searching for expensive supplements, complicated health routines, and secret remedies to feel better, while overlooking something remarkably simple that may already be sitting in their kitchen. The truth is that most doctors rarely mention it, not because it lacks potential, but because it seems almost too ordinary to attract attention. Yet one small ingredient, costing only a few cents, combined correctly with your morning coffee, may begin influencing your body far faster than most people would imagine. The effects do not require weeks to appear. Some of the earliest changes can begin within minutes. At first, this idea may sound difficult to believe. After all, people often assume that meaningful health improvements must come from expensive products or complex strategies. But many adults over 60 never realize that the issue is not necessarily the coffee itself. Instead, it may be the way coffee has been consumed for decades. A simple adjustment can completely change the experience. Stay with me until the end, because I will explain the proper method and reveal a common mistake that many seniors unknowingly make, a mistake that can eliminate much of the potential benefit. Before we go any further, think about your own routine. How old are you? What country are you watching from? And how do you usually prepare your morning coffee? Do you drink it black, add cream, sweeten it with sugar, or use flavored products? These details may seem small, but they often make a significant difference. To understand why this combination works, we first need to look at coffee from a different perspective. Most people think of coffee as nothing more than caffeine, but that is only part of the story. Coffee contains a wide range of naturally occurring plant compounds that help the body manage energy, respond to stress, and maintain balance throughout the day. Among the most important of these compounds is chlorogenic acid. The name itself is not important. What matters is its role inside the body. Research has shown that chlorogenic acid may help slow the absorption of sugar, support healthy liver function, and assist in reducing the low-grade inflammation that tends to increase as we get older. Now let us add clove to the equation. Most people recognize clove simply as a spice used in cooking, but it contains a remarkable natural compound called eugenol. This substance has attracted attention for its potential ability to support healthy circulation, calm inflammatory processes, and help the body cope more effectively with physical stress. On its own, clove already offers interesting properties. However, the real surprise appears when it is combined with coffee. Rather than acting independently, these two ingredients appear to complement one another. Scientists often describe this type of interaction as synergy, a situation in which two compounds produce a stronger combined effect than either could achieve alone. That is the detail many people overlook. The secret is not necessarily the coffee or the clove individually, but the way they work together. Unfortunately, many people unintentionally cancel out the benefits of their coffee every morning. Large amounts of sugar, artificial flavorings, heavily processed instant products, and poor preparation habits can transform a potentially helpful beverage into something that places additional stress on the body. Instead of supporting health, the drink becomes another challenge the body must manage. This becomes even more important after the age of 60. As we grow older, the body often becomes more sensitive to daily habits. Small choices can create larger consequences. When the same routine is repeated every morning, it begins influencing digestion, energy levels, mental clarity, stress response, and overall well-being. The real question, then, is what happens when those habits are improved? When coffee and clove are prepared correctly, many people notice changes surprisingly quickly. One of the first differences often appears within the first 15 minutes. The energy feels different. It is not necessarily stronger, but smoother and more balanced. Instead of feeling overstimulated or nervous, many individuals report a calmer form of alertness. The caffeine continues to provide energy, while eugenol may help soften some of the tension that coffee occasionally produces. The result is often described as clearer thinking without the uncomfortable jittery sensation. Another early change involves digestion. Clove has traditionally been used to help ease digestive discomfort, while coffee naturally stimulates movement within the digestive tract. Together, they may encourage a gentle sense of digestive relief. Some people report feeling less bloated, less sluggish after meals, and more comfortable during the morning hours. For those who frequently struggle with slow digestion, these effects can become noticeable within only a few days. As the days continue, attention turns toward blood sugar regulation. Many adults over 60 experience fluctuations in blood sugar without fully recognizing the signs. Energy levels may rise and fall unpredictably. Cravings can appear suddenly, and hunger may return sooner than expected. Chlorogenic acid may help moderate the speed at which sugar enters the bloodstream, while eugenol may support the body's ability to manage those changes more effectively. The results are usually gradual rather than dramatic, but many people begin noticing a steadier pattern within several days. After the first week, additional changes may begin to emerge. One of the most important involves inflammation, not the immediate type that follows an injury, but the low-level chronic inflammation that quietly accumulates over time. Many seniors wake up each morning with stiffness in their joints, discomfort in their hands, knees, hips, or back, and a general sense of physical tightness. While coffee and clove are not miracle cures, reducing daily inflammatory stress may allow the body to function more comfortably. Morning stiffness may feel less severe, and physical discomfort may become easier to manage. By the second week, many individuals notice greater consistency throughout the day. Energy levels often become more predictable, reducing the urge to rely on multiple cups of coffee. This matters because one of the most common challenges after 60 is not necessarily low energy, but unstable energy. When energy becomes steadier, daily activities often feel easier and more manageable. After approximately 1 month, deeper internal effects may begin developing. At this stage, attention often turns to the liver, one of the body's most important organs for processing and filtering substances. Years of stress, poor dietary habits, and environmental exposure can place a significant burden on liver function. Research has associated moderate coffee consumption with support for liver health, while the antioxidant properties found in clove may contribute additional protection against oxidative stress. Together, these compounds may help create a more supportive internal environment for long-term wellness. Together, these two ingredients help create a more favorable internal environment for your body to handle the countless substances it processes every day. This does not mean you will wake up tomorrow feeling like a different person. The changes are usually subtle at first. However, over the course of several weeks, many people describe feeling lighter, more mentally focused, and even noticing small improvements in their overall appearance. When the body's internal systems work more efficiently, those improvements often become visible on the outside as well. By the time 3 months have passed, consistency begins to reveal its true value. At this stage, the benefits are often less about individual symptoms and more about overall function. Some people notice gradual changes in body weight, not because they have followed a strict diet, but because their metabolism and daily habits have become more supportive of their health goals. Energy tends to feel steadier and more reliable. Mornings become easier to manage. The body starts responding differently to everyday routines, and that is where the real transformation occurs. The goal is not a single drink. The goal is creating habits that work with your body rather than against it. If this information has been useful so far, take a moment to support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. Every interaction helps us reach more seniors who are looking for practical, easy-to-understand health information. And if you would like to offer additional support, consider using the Super Thanks feature below. Your support allows us to continue creating content that helps older adults live healthier and more informed lives. Now let's move on to the part where many people unintentionally make mistakes. Understanding the preparation process is just as important as understanding the ingredients themselves. The method matters. The timing matters. Even small errors can dramatically reduce the potential benefits. One of the most effective approaches involves a gentle extraction method. Begin with 3 whole cloves. Avoid using powdered clove or pre-ground versions if possible. Place the cloves into a small saucepan with water and bring the water to a light boil. Once it reaches that point, reduce the heat and allow it to simmer gently for approximately 5 minutes. There is no advantage to extending the cooking time. In fact, excessive heat can begin degrading some of the very compounds you are trying to preserve. After 5 minutes, strain the liquid and use this clove-infused water as the base for preparing your coffee. Whether you prefer a drip machine, French press, pour-over method, or another brewing style, the process remains the same. Ideally, drink it in the morning before consuming food, sugar, or other beverages. Allow it to be the first thing your body receives. Most importantly, do not rush through it. Sip it slowly and give your body time to respond. The purpose is not intensity, but proper absorption. Of course, not everyone has time for a more elaborate preparation every morning. Fortunately, there is a simpler alternative. Lightly crush a single clove and place it directly into your coffee. Allow it to steep for a few minutes before drinking. While this method may not provide the same concentration as the full extraction process, it can still offer noticeable benefits. In many cases, consistency is far more important than perfection. Now let us discuss the mistakes that cause many people to abandon this habit before they experience meaningful results. The first mistake is using whole cloves without any preparation. Clove is extremely dense, and if it is simply dropped into coffee without crushing or heating, very little of its beneficial compounds are released. You may notice the aroma, but that does not necessarily mean your body is receiving the compounds you are seeking. There is a significant difference between smelling a spice and extracting its active components. The second mistake is excessive boiling. Many people assume that longer cooking automatically produces a stronger result. With clove, the opposite can be true. Prolonged exposure to high temperatures may reduce the concentration of beneficial compounds. 5 minutes of gentle simmering is generally sufficient. Beyond that point, you may begin losing the very substances you want to preserve. The third mistake involves sugar. This is one of the most common issues. Large amounts of sugar create rapid spikes in blood sugar levels and trigger responses that work against many of the effects people hope to achieve. Even if the coffee and clove are prepared perfectly, excessive sugar can significantly reduce the overall benefit. The fourth mistake is adding large amounts of milk or cream. This often surprises people. Certain proteins found in dairy products may interfere with the absorption of some valuable compounds naturally present in coffee. While this does not eliminate every benefit, it may reduce part of the effect. If you prefer adding something to your coffee, consider keeping it simple and using only a small amount. The fifth, and perhaps most important mistake, is inconsistency. Many people try a new habit once or twice and then decide it does not work. The body responds to repeated patterns, not isolated events. Lasting results require repetition. Consistency is what allows small actions to create meaningful changes over time. Before trying this approach, there are a few situations that deserve special attention. Individuals taking blood-thinning medications should consult their healthcare provider before incorporating large amounts of clove into their routine. Clove contains natural compounds that may influence certain aspects of blood flow. Likewise, people who suffer from severe acid reflux, stomach ulcers, or significant digestive sensitivity may find that coffee itself is not an ideal choice. In those situations, this method may not be appropriate. Remember, the purpose is not to avoid every possible risk. The purpose is understanding what works best for your individual body. Good health is never about blindly following trends. It is about making informed decisions based on your unique circumstances. This information is intended for educational purposes only and should never replace professional medical advice. Anyone with existing medical conditions or those taking prescription medications should consult a qualified healthcare professional before making significant changes to their daily routine. So let us bring everything together. A single clove, prepared correctly and combined with coffee, may seem insignificant. Yet when practiced consistently, this simple habit can become part of a daily routine that supports your body from within. The effects are not immediate miracles. They develop gradually, building over time through repetition and consistency. The most important lesson is simple. Better health does not always require complicated solutions. It does not always require expensive products. Some of the most meaningful improvements come from small habits repeated day after day. Tomorrow morning, you will have a choice. You can prepare your coffee exactly as you always have, or you can make one small adjustment and see how your body responds over the coming weeks. Now, I would love to hear from you. Do you plan to try this tomorrow morning? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you know someone over the age of 60 who enjoys coffee every day, send them this video. It may be one of the easiest ways to introduce them to a simple habit that could support their overall well-being. Thank you for watching, take good care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.